right, whoever's here in this 10 of you, 15 of you, something like that, let me know if the audio is good. We got a few people in here. Let's pop open the chat. Let's see. All right, we got Iron Links here first. More tanking's always good. All right, we're opening this up, waiting for people to get in here. But yeah, more tanking is always good. This game was chaos. It was filled with basically everything you could ever imagine. We had Guhle punch someone in the face. We had Michael Pezzetta go in for fighting. We had 10-minute misconducts. Absolutely. And well, that's a very good question, because it happened again tonight, and I think, if I'm not mistaken, it happened at the start of the second period as well. There's a reason he was pulled when it was 6-1, I think. And honestly, at one point there in the second period, I think until there was about 6 minutes left in the second period, the shots for Montreal were 5, and the Avalanche had 6 goals. So for a big chunk of that second, the Avs had more goals than the Habs had shots. So, no, that's pretty insane. But yeah, all the same, guys, for this being my first ever game, I mean, I'm here trying to get out of the way of people, right? It's pretty crazy, right? The first time ever here. What's crazy to me, for any of you who go to these games fairly often, is the ability of the Montreal fans, the Montreal crowd, to make every game feel special, right? Like Montreal has a bunch of players injured. It's a tanking year, and before the game even started, the wait for the intros, the hype video, it made you almost emotional, right? Even if it was a meaningless game in March. And then even when the Habs scored, it was 6-1, 6-2. The place went nuts. Goals that didn't even matter for Montreal were just celebrated like crazy. So really amazing. Thank you to Habs fans, for everyone here. I mean, I had a couple people say hi, and it was an amazing experience. Let me just keep this up there. But yeah, so we got 14, 15 people, guys. If you're in here, make sure to like the stream. Muffin Mouse, thank you so much. Thank you so much for saying you're happy for me. I'm so happy. I mean, here we go. We got the building behind me. I'm trying to stay out of people's way, but we got everything here. It's across to the other side. You want to go over here? Oh, down here? Okay, we're gonna move. But yeah, I mean, it was record that way. Yeah. Good point. But no, it was just purely amazing. So let me take a look here. I think I saw another chat there, right? Live chat. All right, we got Chris saying, did Martin seem angry? Well, Chris, let me tell you, I was up in the nosebleeds, basically. I mean, there's no bad seat in that building, right? I was up in the 300 section. Some of you might know where that is, so I didn't get a good view of Martin St. Louis. But I think for him, he probably seemed more sad than anything, more disappointed, because I think a lot of the Habs' lack of effort was a little frustrating, just especially in that first period, when Montreal just had zero energy for the first half of it, almost all of the first period. It was sad, right? You wanted more from your team, even in a year where you're not expected to win a lot. It just felt like even the stars were not giving their full effort. And that changed a lot. Honestly, I think that changed as soon as Jake Allen was pulled for Sam Montembeault. Yeah, the Avalanche scored 2 more goals, but one was an insane one from McKinnon, one was just a bad luck bounce. So really, it was when the goalie switch happened. I don't know if it's because Montembeault was playing a lot better, that Montreal kind of came back and made this a really close game, or if it was some other reason. But yeah, Montreal really needed a spark tonight. Maybe they're getting tired of playing the same style of game over and over. But yeah, I don't know if Martin was angry. I think more sad. We got Caper Mike. Did the Pez dispenser put the pucks to someone or what? Pez dispenser did, actually. Dude, Pezzetta was all over the ice. He was hustling like crazy. I thought he was one of the Habs' better players tonight, and he, of course, got in a scrap late. It was getting really rough. Belzile was going after Alex Newhook because Newhook was trying to check him or something. They were going after each other, bodying each other. Boy, we're good, yeah. But no, it was a lot of fun. And Pezzetta really went in to defend his teammates. He got into a scrap. He fought Bowen Byram. Now, it wasn't the best fight I've ever seen, for sure. But when Bowen Byram is there fighting, hey, I mean, it's pretty cool that Pezzetta got into a fight. I got to see one. And guys, at the same time, right, the final score was, 8-4? 12 goals, 4 Habs goals. In those last few goals, though, the Habs weren't even celebrating because of the score of the game. So yeah, we got some more here. Glad it was a fun experience, says John. Thank you, John. Really appreciate it. It was extremely fun. Even when it was 6-1, I was having a ton of fun. And that's the beauty of a season like this, where you don't care if they win. You just have fun watching any kind of action, right? It's great. Chris H., the defense collapsed early on. That's a good point. But I wouldn't even say it was a defensive collapse. I mean, it wasn't there. The defense wasn't there. But the forwards weren't there either. As you can see, Nick Suzuki, I'm looking, there's a TV on in front of me, Nick Suzuki getting interviewed. He doesn't look very happy. But it was more than just the defense. It was the forwards. It was just no one was able to put anything together tonight until the goalie switch was made. And I really do think that was the change in the game, because after the goalie switch was made, Montreal won the game. It was 6-1 and the final score was 8-4. Montreal outscored Colorado 3-2 after Monty was put in net. Monty made some saves Allen wasn't making. I don't know if Allen was just having a bad night or what, but it was really not a great game from him. But more than just the defense, it was pretty much everyone. Rich says, nice to see Lecky score twice, but unfortunately he got hurt. Hope he's okay. You know, a lot of people were rooting for the Lehkonen hat trick, and one really cool thing about this game, one really awesome thing, is there was a video tribute for Arturi Lehkonen, and the place went nuts. Louder than the cheer for any of the goals tonight, no joke at all, are the Arturi Lehkonen celebration when his video tribute was shown. And you know what? A lot of the Habs faithful cheered louder when Lecky scored for Colorado than they did for when the Habs scored later on. So it was awesome. Just everyone loves Lecky, right? Great stick Lecky. He was just so great. It was awesome to see him score. We wanted a hat trick, right? We wanted the Lecky hat trick. Sucks that he went out with injury. And another guy that went out with injury, I'm sure you guys caught that, was Rem Pitlick. A guy who got a shot on the first line tonight with Suzuki and Gurianov before that line was switched. Gurianov was taken off of the first line before the game was over. But really, like, he was given a shot and he was hustling for a puck. They called boarding on Devon Taves, which I think was a bit iffy. But Pitlick went into the boards hard, hit his shoulder, hit his head. He looked dazed. I hope he's okay too. I fear for a concussion. Let's hope not. But yeah, no, it was unfortunate. Will says, love the videos you guys make, and Loker says, let's go everyone. Get some W's in the chat. I know the Habs lost, but let's just get some people, you know, being happy here in the chat, right? Like, it was an exciting game, just from a pure hockey perspective. You see a ton of goals, some fights, some action all over the place. The place was super rough, but it was loud from the minute the puck dropped until the very end. It was amazing, right? For my first ever Habs game, would I have wanted them to win? I don't know. Maybe not this year, because in a year like this, a good draft pick is going to do so much good for Montreal, and I'm so happy. Will Babb, W tank game, let's go. I wish I could play the tank thing on mobile here, guys. Can I put this sideways? You know, it's not going to let me. It's going to force me to rotate back. Yeah, I don't think I can put this in the landscape, can I? No, I'm not. And we get a $3.30 donation from Angie. Thank you so much. Nice in the video. There we go. My partner here for the videos. $3 donation. Thank you so much. Yeah, it was a super fun game, guys. Like, I don't even know how to describe it. Like, it is, I mean, I do though. It's surreal. I mean, if you guys saw the community post, I was so thrilled. I was so thrilled just to be there, right? Even during warm-ups, I was there before the game even started. I was there an hour before, and honestly, it was just awesome. There was some country music. It was country night here tonight. You can still hear it in the background going before and after the game. I mean, every fan I ran into, I mean, I didn't run into fans of the channel necessarily. I just mean Habs fans. We're just so nice. Like, everyone was just there to have a good time. The score was 6-1, and they were showing people dancing like crazy on the big board. People mostly didn't leave until there was 30 seconds left in the third. It was so amazing. I'm so happy. Will says, my opinion, which may sound crazy, is I believe the Habs make the playoffs next year. Will, we're going to hold you to that, because I think us here at Habs Digest believe that too. I mean, Montreal's ability to stay in these games, not necessarily tonight, although they did make a good effort in the third, their ability to stay in games with really good teams. We saw it against Carolina recently. We saw it against the New York Rangers. We might see it against Pittsburgh tomorrow, maybe not tonight against Colorado. But, you know, the fact that Montreal, with this roster, is able to do what they've done so far this year, I think is super impressive, especially with not just the roster, but with the amount of injuries they've had, right? Like, it's just awesome, right? So I really, truly believe that Montreal has a great chance at making the playoff next year. But again, the Atlantic Division is so tough. Look at the Bruins. They're what, like 59-4 or something like that. The Leafs are getting stronger all the time. Maybe at some point soon they'll collapse in the regular season and not just the playoffs. The Red Wings look like they're only getting better. Same thing with the Senators. The Panthers are still good. Like, Montreal's going to have a tough time making it out of the Atlantic. So it is a bold prediction, but I really like it, Will. Muffin Mouse says, hockey is fun, and that made me proud to be a Habs fan. Lehkonen, great stick from Lecky. He was all over the ice tonight before he unfortunately got hurt. But if you guys weren't here before when I said it, like the ovation for Lehkonen when they played a video tribute, it almost got everyone emotional, right? It was louder than any goal celebration of the whole night. Lehkonen is just so beloved by Habs fans. I'm gonna move out of the way of this window. I got some people in the restaurant looking at me weird. But yeah, like Lehkonen's just, the love for him by Habs fans is amazing. It's just so awesome to see him do well, and everyone was cheering him on every time he scored, even for Colorado. The place was cheering, and not just the Habs fans in attendance. And we got John says, I share that crazy opinion. John, you and I and Will apparently. Let's see if anyone else who believes that in the chat. Let us know whether or not you think the Habs will make the playoffs this season. Please let us know now. We got 27 people in here. Guys, if you're in here, leave a like on the stream. It helps us get promoted. This is just an awesome experience outside the Bell Center, live after my first game here in Montreal. Just so surreal to be able to not only go to a Habs game, but to have you guys there waiting for me to go live after the game. It's something I can't even describe to you guys. So thank you all for those of you who are here watching. Seriously, it is just absolutely amazing. I keep saying that, but it is. I don't have any other words. Mark says, must be a show just watching Matheson skate. Such a good skater. I was actually going to say that. Watching Mike Matheson play tonight, he looked like the Habs' best player again, and it's been a theme over the last couple weeks. It's been so crazy to watch his progression from earlier on in the season when a lot of people were just saying I don't know about Mike Matheson, right? The trade, Jeff Petrie still got some left in the tank, but Matheson is blossoming into one of the Habs' best players, not just defensively, where he's maybe not the strongest, but he's made some amazing plays defensively, but his offense, his ability to skate and get into the offensive zone. There was a play tonight where he had one of the sickest dekes I've ever seen. Of course, he got a high sticking penalty after, and Colorado scored on the power play. But give a little, take a little. But still, Matheson skating, you're right. His smoothness, his speed is just, it's the best on the team. I mean, I genuinely think he's the best skater on Montreal, and I don't think it's particularly close. It's really, really cool. Let's see. Muffin Mouse, it made me tear up, to be honest. The Lehkonen thing, yeah, I mean, the Lehkonen thing was so crazy. A lot of things made me almost want to tear up tonight. I mean, it's really an emotional experience being there, just to see the Habs play, to hear the music, the fans cheering, Youppi getting into it. It was so crazy. Joel's Matrix, I saw them, the Habs, years ago in Ottawa. It was amazing. Joel, I'll have you know, actually, I've seen the Habs play once in my life before, and it was in Toronto. I have family in Toronto. I visit there every single year. I've caught a few Leafs games in my day because it's hockey, right? I'm not just going to not go to a game if I have the opportunity to get, free tickets. So I went to a few Leafs games with my pop, and yeah, it was crazy seeing the Habs in Toronto. Actually, when I went to see him, I think it was 2006. I remember it because it was, or maybe 2006, maybe later, I can't remember, but it was the Hall of Fame game in Toronto. Every year they have a game honoring the people who made the Hall of Fame that year, and Patrick Watt was one of the inductees. So I was watching Montreal versus Toronto on a Saturday night in Toronto, where Patrick Watt was getting acknowledged for getting inducted into the Hall of Fame. So that was the last time I saw the Habs play live. They lost 5-1. Yeah, they lost 8-4. Maybe it's bad luck. Maybe it's the jersey. Maybe I'm the bad luck charm. I don't know. But still, super cool to see the Habs play when you don't get those opportunities very much. Rich says if they're healthy, they make the playoffs next year for sure. Healthy, and I think they need some development, right? Not just do they need health, but to have someone like Doc take even another leap, someone like Slavkovsky to finally come back and play well, someone like Cole Caulfield to take the next jump and finally maybe pop those 50 goals with a healthy shoulder. It'll be really surreal to see what Montreal can do next year. And a lot of the defensemen too. So many guys are young, like Justin Barron, Caden Guhle, Jordan Harris. There's still a big question mark about Arbor Jacki and where he's going to fit into the lineup. But if everything goes right, I think it could potentially be amazing, right? We got M. Great creative username, M. Are you not from Montreal? No, I'm not from Montreal. I'm here visiting. I am from St. John's, Newfoundland. As Angie points out a little later, Newfoundlander born and raised. That's it. I'm from Newfoundland. So if you guys didn't know, I'm not from here. Well, Jesse's from Gatineau, but so he's from Quebec at least. But no, I'm an islander, right? I came here. This is only my second time, well, really third time ever in Montreal. First time being over 15 years old. So, and my first time at the Bell Center. So. It's an experience. It's completely surreal, and yeah. Hello. I'm getting the full shot of everything around me. Can I flip the camera? Yeah, just show you guys. I mean, I'm just on the outside here now. I would have been over there in the park But the problem with that is, if you can hear it, there's a country concert going on. So it was just going to completely overpower the audio. Maybe we'll make our way back there before the stream is over. But yeah, not from Montreal. Fun fact for those of you who thought I was. Blanco says, ahoy, ahoy, Blanco. You're probably Slovakian. Habs can do playoffs next year. Just need to do some summer prep right and don't shuffle lines so much. I think the line shuffling is not necessarily the fault of the Habs. It's just the fault of the injuries, the fault of the lack of chemistry, the fault of the lack of success. I think if you don't have much success, you have no choice but to change some of the lines, right? Because if guys aren't working together, you got to give them new looks. Look at some guys like Michael Pezzetta. He had, 2 points in 30-something games before getting paired with Belzile, and now he has 9 points in 20 games since being paired with them. That's almost a 40-point pace for fourth-line winger Michael Pezzetta since he's been playing with Alex Belzile. So I think a bit of health, a bit of line shuffling is okay, but you're right. I think the Habs have a good chance at doing something special next year if this core sticks together. Blanco says, oh, and I want to see a Pinard-Slav combo. The big and the small, I think that would be pretty amazing. So I think there's lots and lots and lots of potential for interesting lineups, but I love the optimism. Let's take a look. Around here, Joel's Matrix. I even went to the skills competition and game in Ottawa years ago. The AHL had their skills competition in St. John's, where I'm from, a number of years back when we were, I can't remember, we had the St. John's Ice Caps. They were the AHL affiliate of the Winnipeg Jets for a while, and then the Habs for a couple of years before, of course, they went to Manitoba and to Laval, respectively, for the teams. But I saw the skills comp for the AHL there, and it was really, really cool. Fun, Muffin Mouse. Them making the series next year is the biggest maybe possible. Yeah, okay, let's be honest. It is a really big maybe. It is a big maybe, and there's a lot of things that would really have to go right, and the Atlantic Division would probably have to collapse, but at the same time, I still see Montreal as being a potentially competitive team. Yeah, other teams have done more, a lot more, to step up and improve their rosters for next season, and there'll probably be a lot more coming this offseason, but I still think it's possible. Why not be optimistic, right? Let's keep going. I'm American, been to Montreal many times, haven't been to a game, seen my first one in 3 weeks when they played the Red Wings. Will, that is an awesome thing to hear. Yeah, it's really cool being here. So, I mean, if any of you have not been here, like I've said earlier in the stream, there's more of you here now, but I'll say it again, like, just the friendliness of everyone that I encountered, not just about the Habs, but like just everything in general. It was an awesome experience. Anything you wanted, you can get. The cheers, the crowd noise was amazing. Outside the building was awesome. As soon as you're inside, and like compared to some other stadiums, like I've been to the Scotiabank Arena or Air Canada Centre, as I'm still going to call it, and the Rogers Centre, Sky Dome in Toronto many times, because Toronto's the city I visit the most. And like I gotta say, even just the ease, the walkability, like I walked to the arena from my hotel with no traffic, no problem. The car traffic isn't even bad here. Walking around the arena itself is not crowded. It just feels like a perfect experience. So I really highly recommend any of you Habs fans who haven't been there, even for a meaningless game in March where they get blown out 8-4, it is really worth it. Joel said, in my young adult life in Gatineau, I drank a beer with Stéphane Richer at a strippers bar. Well, that is an experience, a true Habs experience, if I must say. The same night he was traded to the Devils. Joel, I don't know if you had something to do with it. Maybe he knew. Maybe he knew beforehand, and that's why he was getting a drink at the strip club. And maybe he just needed someone to talk to. Maybe he couldn't tell you yet. Maybe he was trying to wash away his sorrows. But that is a really cool experience. Bob says, yeah, to Blanco, long shot at best, too many holes in the lineup. There are some holes. I mean, there's no doubt that the Habs lineup is not built to make the playoffs quite yet. That's for sure. But again, we just don't know. Like, look at the jumps that some of the players have made this year. Doc jumped into being a solid first or second line player. Amazing 2C. Caulfield's goal scoring jumped up. Suzuki's production, when the others were healthy, was the best he's ever seen. And the defenseman, Guhle, looks fantastic. Matheson looks better than Petrie recently. It's been so cool. So I wouldn't put it out of the question for the Habs to continue to roll as the season goes into the next one. Marc Pommier says, are you confident with the Allen Montembeault, or do you go for another goalie outside the organization? Well, for a playoff series, not confident in the slightest. I mean, let's be honest, Jake Allen and Sam Montembeault are not the two best goalies in the NHL, but what I will say is I'd like to keep Monty around. Are you getting called? Yeah. I like to keep Monty around. Jake Allen, I love him. He actually played for the St. John's Bog Devils back in the day, QMJHL. I saw him in his Q days in my hometown. But he's been good for Montreal for many years. But I think another team, it's time for him to move on to another team. Let Monty maybe become the starter, or let someone else become the starter, and let Monty be one of the better backups in the league. I'm not confident in the Allen Montembeault duo. I think they need to bring someone else in. There's lots of like goalie prospects. Like Devin Levi's name has been thrown around. Dustin Wolf from Calgary's system. So maybe one of those could be a good fit. Bob says, I'd say 2 to 3 years and we should be in the playoffs. Another thing too, like, as I think we're going to start walking back here, we're getting a bit cold. Let's keep moving. But another thing too with Montreal is this isn't designed to be a short rebuild. Now, while I say that I believe Montreal can make the playoffs next season, you guys are right. There are a lot of holes to fill. There's a lot of things that really need to go right for that to happen. But this is not meant to be a short rebuild. This is meant to be a longer rebuild. Slav is 18, Suzuki's 23, Caulfield's 22, Doc is 22. These guys are all extremely young. They're so young, and they're going to hit their primes in 4 or 5 years. Yeah, there's a bit of noise here. I wanted to walk through the park, but there's a bit of noise. We're just going to keep walking, keep moving, because it's cold here. It's not that cold, I mean, but still, when you're standing still, and I'm holding my phone, and my hands are getting freezing, so... But yeah, I think playoffs are more realistic in 3 to 4 years. Well, playoffs maybe 2 to 3, but like true, if Montreal's to become a true contender, maybe in 3 to 4 years. Yeah, I mean, when these guys are hitting their primes, right? When Suzuki, Caulfield, Doc, Slavkovsky, Guhle, these guys are all hitting their mid-20s, that's when this team is going to be the most dangerous. So it's really just, it's going to be a matter of time. But I think you guys, if you guys are patient, a lot of things can go very, very right for this team. Let's head back into the chat here. M says, Carter Hart or Devin Levi, please. Yeah, M, I saw that Carter Hart was made available. Or, well, it was at least theorized from Friedman that Carter Hart would be made available. So that's pretty cool. That's actually, I'm going to flip this over. We got Habs Fan TV right in front of me here. We got a lot of stuff going on right here with Habs Fan TV. So I'm gonna stick here with Habs Digest. I might try and jump in there in a second. I don't know if you guys, some of you guys are probably fans of this channel too, but this is cool. Hold on, I'm gonna see if I can hop in here. What? I need the audio. I'm gonna wait for this guy to stop talking, but yeah, this is pretty cool. Yeah, I don't think playoffs are really in question for next season. Muffin says, thanks as always and enjoy it, best kind. Thank you, Muffin, really appreciate it. Blanco says, talking about playoffs, what's the situation with Price? Is there still news about his health? Blanco, I think those days are behind us at this point. I don't think Price is going to be playing anytime soon. He's officially moved back to BC. You know, Price's days were awesome in Montreal. He had some amazing things happen, but yeah, I think those days are behind us. I don't think he'll be back anytime soon. Rich says, have a great time in Montreal. Safe travels back to St. John's. Thank you very much. Hey, yo, Habs fan, Habs Digest, bro, on YouTube. You guys seen our channel or no?
What's your
Habs Digest. We're live right now post game. We got like 30 guys watching. Habs Fan TV.
Yo, what's up, guys?
There we go. What's up everyone in chat?
So you're giving me an interview right now?
Well, we can just talk, right? It's no interview. I don't need to interview you.
Okay,
but this is my first game in Montreal, so it's just
your
like
first game in Montreal.
Dude, I'm from Newfoundland.
What?
Yeah, je viens de Terre-Neuve.
Wait. So hi to the people watching. Habs just lost. We're close to depression, and Connor Bedard too.
Connor Bedard, closer to Connor Bedard, a lot closer. Yeah, very, very happy about that. Do you think we'll get him? I don't think so, man.
We're not gonna get him. Betsy's going to Arizona.
I got Columbus.
Yeah. What about 20 on that?
20 on that? Should we shake now?
Yeah.
We get the handshake in the deal?
Handshake.
Okay. I bet Columbus. He bet Arizona. Yeah, I think Columbus is, I mean, I don't know. I think Bedard and Gaudreau is pretty nuts. But yeah, so like, you guys, I watch you guys on all the time.
Last night.
Yeah, I do. So
our battery died, but we'll try to get you an interview.
I mean, I don't need a full-on interview. But I mean, I'm gonna end the live. So we're getting fucking freezing, dude. But
see you guys. Thanks for watching that guy. He's an absolute beauty.
Thank you. Let's go. Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Thank you. You too. Yeah, so that was pretty good, guys. Got to meet a bit of Habs Fan TV. Maybe some of you guys know that, maybe you don't, but that was pretty cool. Just got to step in there and yeah. So let's have a look. Yeah, Rich says safe travels. Thank you. Planko says didn't know that. Yeah, I think Carey Price's days are pretty much done. I think one of the goalies of the future of Montreal, when Montreal eventually becomes a playoff contender, is no longer. There's not in the system right now. I don't think Monty is that guy. I don't think Jake Allen's that guy. I think a prospect, like someone said, Devin Levi or Carter Hart, who's now available as speculated by Elliot Friedman, might be coming to Montreal at some point. You want to keep walking this way? What? No, let's keep moving. Yeah, because it's getting cold. Cold. There's a lot of stuff happening here. I mean, look at this. Some crazy stuff happening here in the street. Yeah, the streets of Montreal are pretty nuts. Pretty cool. We're going to clue this up here in a minute. We got Bob Cannon. Is the fact the Habs organization couldn't build a cup winner with one of the greatest goalies of all time the worst failing in the last 50 years? Well, Bob, what I'm going to say to that is Montreal had a chance to make it, and I'm just going to say Chris Kreider, because I genuinely think 2014, if Montreal made the finals against the LA Kings, I think they would have won. I think the Carey Price, Jonathan Quick duel would have been one for the ages. And I don't, not every team is meant to win a Stanley Cup. Yes, I know Montreal had some insane talent, and I think they could have done it if things had fallen the right way. But they had the chance. They made the conference finals a couple times, and they had a chance to make the Cup finals a real chance. It's warm right here. But yeah, I think it was maybe not a blunder, but it was pretty awesome. All right, and we got one more chat. Toronto has entered the chat, says John. All right, guys, I think that's actually going to do it because we're getting very cold. We're going to head back to our hotel. Amazing experience here in Montreal. Thank all of you guys for watching. Thank all you guys for everything, all the support to allow this to happen, right? You guys watching is really what made this trip possible and what made it all worth it, all your guys' support. So I'm going to get a quick chance for anyone to say anything in the chat. So thank you very much. Blanco says good night. Thank you very much, Blanco. Bob says sadly don't believe the Habs are going to beat the Rangers regardless of the crowd or play. You know what? Maybe they wouldn't have, but I like to believe they would have. I like to believe they would have. So that's it. Thank you, Mark. Thank you, Bob. Really appreciate everyone who was in here. I'll catch you guys very soon. I'll try and record a video before I'm done in Montreal, hopefully with Jesse, talking about the experience and whatever Habs news is up to date. So go Habs, go. Thank you, as always, for watching the live stream. Leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Help us hit 5,000 subs. Thank you all so much for tuning in, as we're going to walk past the country concert and get an Uber home. Appreciate it, guys. Have a good one.